immediate indications that the water is not safe. My staff and I are drinking the water on base. Families didn't buy it. They knew they lived close to Red Hill, an old Navy fuel storage facility. They knew Red Hill's tanks were close to the wells that supplied their drinking water. And they knew Red Hill had a history of leaks. There had been a big one in 2014, another in May of 2021, and there had just been another one on November 20th. But the Navy kept saying the leak hadn't affected the water.
The tanks and the fuel are monitored on a daily basis to end, so there's no active leak. We have not lost fuel.
Crazy to think that, like, you know, American military bases are routinely fucking doing awful shit to the areas that they exist in. Remember, this is American soil technically, you know, now, I guess. If we're treating Hawaii like this, how are we treating other countries that are thousands of miles away? How are we treating our own American service members with burn pits, for example? You know, things like that. So just remind yourself that is how the American military operates, you know, to fucking protect against enemies, both domestic and foreign, baby.
18-week, high-risk pregnant wife, and I'm being told you can use the water, go away.
You have been saying that it's safe to bathe with, and we have been experiencing side effects. It is not safe.
The problem is there's houses where people bathe and there are no effects. So how do you shut down water for everybody?
It's not American soil. It is American occupied soil, and citizens do not want us, or the billionaires buying houses there. Yeah, I know. I understand the distinction. I agree. The reason why I said that is because it's Americans who are poisoning Hawaii considered to be American soil.
You guys knew about it last week, and the military dismisses it. And we're the ones that have to live with the repercussions.
Almost 2 weeks after people got sick, a report from the Department of Health revealed there was fuel in the water, 350 times the acceptable level. The Navy had been serving bad water to 93,000 people.
The week of the water situation, I called her doctor and was just like, hey, she has a lump in her neck, and
I was microwaved in the Air Force and became medically retired due to type 1 diabetes from being microwaved. Wait, what the fuck? The thing?
saying that her neck hurts. We got her in, and they told me at 3 years old that she had her thyroid was attacking itself. And
I bet these goddamn libtards in the military sack the fuck up. Miss America, baby. We're going to have lead in the water, and more importantly, we're going to have guzzling, okay? I'm sorry. You say jet fuel can't melt steel beams? That's right. But how about jet fuel in your drinking water? There is nothing more American than guzzling some motherfucking gasoline, okay? I love that shit. I want to fucking drink it and then spray it onto the fucking air and then light up a match like I'm a fucking dragon, like, okay? That's right, baby. That's fucking right. Goddamn libtards need to fucking stop crying about gasoline in the water.
that we needed to begin treatment immediately.
Drink some water, okay? So make sure you wash it down.
Good job.
When you heard officially there is something wrong with the water, how did it make you look back on the past few months?
Like, I just think of every single time that I had put Indy in that bathtub with that water and made her sit there when she didn't want to. And that every single time they told me, like, just push fluids with her. And that I was unknowingly making it worse.
What could the long-term risks be?
Her endocrinologist says that in this type of situation with exposure, it could be cancer. For them to say, like,
wild
it's
that there are so
short-term.
many veterans in this community, and like literally they're all saying the same shit where it's like, yeah, you know, at least I got fucking VA benefits, you know what I mean? Like, I know the American government poisoned me at an early age and like fucked me up in irreparable ways, but like, hey, I was able to because I was fortunate enough and unfortunate enough, I guess. I was able to access something that like citizens of every other fucking developed nation take for granted. And even lesser developed nations actually take for granted, which is socialized medicine.
Exposure, it's only happened in November, is a complete lie. It's a complete lie.
Your sense is that it's been going on for much longer?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've been poisoned much longer than just November and much longer than just this year. I mean, they've had multiple spills. I know they had a really big one in 2014. So this has been happening for a long time.
As the 1940s began, the world was in turmoil.
Red Hill was built during World War II to protect the U.S. military's fuel supply from aerial attacks. It's the military's largest fuel storage facility in the world.
A completed tank was 250 feet, top to bottom, and 100 feet in diameter, big enough to hold a 20-story building. The tanks can hold 6 million barrels of oil.
Red Hill's tanks are just 100 feet above Oahu's main drinking source, an aquifer that serves 500,000 people across the island. From when fuel first filled the tanks in 1943, the Navy has documented at least 77 leaks, or what it calls unscheduled fuel releases, totaling about 200,000 gallons. Vice News reviewed dozens of Navy documents, audits, risk assessments, and data spanning decades that show the Navy irregularly maintained and insufficiently inspected Red Hill and continuously downplayed the facility's risks to the EPA, Hawaii's Department of Health, and the public. Considering this history of negligence, the November incident was almost inevitable.
Guys, these are unscheduled fuel leaks. It's just opposed to the scheduled fuel leaks, okay? It's just, you know, it's like immigration detention facilities are now considered overflow facilities. You know what I mean? It's like they're different.
In spite of Red Hill's known
Not a
threat to the
leak.
environment, the Navy has maintained
Different.
it is critical to national security.